Hey, what's going on? My name's Tim Williams, and we're here to break down another spring training MLB DraftKings contest here. We got a 4-game slate going on here. If you're new to the channel, I'll be breaking down some spring training games. We'll be breaking down MLB season games all season long, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's just get right into it. You have Toronto going against Philadelphia. You got Rourke pitching against Nola. So you got a vet going against a young guy, a young ace. Tanner Rourke so far this season, so far this spring training, I should say, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts. So not too bad. If you really want to get different, you can roster him. And then Nola, 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, gave up 2 home runs early on this spring, 4 strikeouts. He has a 6 ERA. He's looks like he's still trying to figure it out. And I was kind of high on him in his last start. And this is a potential, wait and see. Maybe I'll wait and see once he kind of figures it out, kind of corrects himself. Then I might go back to him. But other than that, I don't really like him in this spot. But that being said, with Toronto hitting wise, they're 23rd in average, so they're hitting 232. They're 16th in on base percentage, 17th in home runs, and struck out. Their strikeouts are near the bottom, so they're not really striking out a ton. They're okay. They're hitting almost league average for home runs so far this spring. They're getting on base, so they're seeing their pitches. Not a great spot to pitch against, and guys I like in this order here who've been kind of on fire. I like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's walking more than he's striking out. He's hitting 353. I really like that a lot. Going down in the order a little bit, Kevin Biggio, who, he's a low batting average kind of guy, but he will get on base and he can steal bases and he can hit home runs. So I like him here. And then Teoscar Hernandez is a decent play. He hasn't really shown the batting average, but he is getting on base and does have that power potential. So I like those guys. I mean, they have some obvious names here like Springer, Semien, Bichette. These guys are just kind of struggling out the gate, but I like Guerrero. I like Biggio. You could probably get Gurriel in there as well if you're trying to kind of stack the Blue Jays. But on the other side here for the Phillies, so far in this spring, they're kind of feast or famine. They're 28th in average. They're dead last in on-base percentage, 8th in home runs. So they're hitting the ball out of the park, but they are not getting on base. They're 9th in strikeouts, so they're striking out a ton more than we saw last season. But they're 8th in stolen bases. So it's really feast or famine. Home run, stolen base. It's really, if you stack this team, it's going to get you far in your contest, or it's going to, get you near last. So it's a little bit of a risk play there. Rourke's a veteran. I don't know if I really like the spot for the Phillies, but a decent stacking option. I like McCutchen here. I like Harper. Alec Boehm is having a good start to this spring training. So I like those 3 guys. A sneak value play and maybe GPP only would be Mickey Moniak, who is hitting 400, has 2 home runs so far. You could even do like a Moniak and McCutchen at Harper stack, but know that there is a lot of risk there. Moving on, you have Atlanta going against Boston. This is the matchup that I think might get you a lot of runs. This might have a high run total here. I don't like either pitcher here. Houck, I will say he walks a ton of guys. He's been kind of blown up this spring training. His ERA sits at 7.36. I don't know if I really trust the Red Sox bullpen either. And I will say, yeah, he walks a ton of guys. He's already got 6 walks so far. He's pitching against Kyle Wright for the Braves, who has been pitching pretty decent. He's pitched a little over 8 innings. He has a 3.24 ERA. I think most of that comes from the first outing he had. He's walked 3 guys. He struck out 6, but he's going against a Red Sox team who is 3rd in average. They are 6th in on-base percentage. They struck out. Their strikeouts are around 13th. So they're not really striking out a whole ton. And they're also 2nd in home runs. They're not going to steal bases, the Red Sox, but they have been showing that they can hit for power. They're getting on base. This is potentially a scary team, and their main hitters aren't even, hitting the ball all that great. It's really these young guys, and I'll show you when we get into the order, who are really hitting the ball. On the Atlanta side, I will say, they're hitting for average. They're getting on base, so they're 10th in average, 5th in on base percentage, 11th in stolen bases. So they are stealing bases as well. 17th in home runs. So they can do a little bit of everything, which is pretty scary if you're pitching against them. So I would kind of stay away. I will say on the Braves side, I like Freeman in this spot. Other than that, it's not a whole ton I like. Ozuna for sure, maybe Swanson. But some plug and play guys here. And then on the Red Sox side, Kike Hernandez, you got your usual suspects here hitting. It looks like JD Martinez is getting the day off. But I actually like this bottom of the order. I like Christian Vasquez. We know he can hit for power. Arroyo, he is out of options, minor league options. So he's either got to make the team or they got to waive him. And he's been pretty hot this season. Bobby Dahlbeck and Michael Chavis both are hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So this bottom of the order is something I potentially would stack just to get different. And you have so many position flexibility options here. So I do love the bottom half of this order. Moving on. We got the Yankees going against the Tigers. You have Garrett Cole, who is an absolute almost no-brainer here. I like him pitching against the Tigers. The Tigers kind of stink, and they're gonna have some glimpses of they're gonna have good games. They're gonna have a lot of bad games. Tigers, they're 19th in average, 4th in on-base percentage, if you can believe that. So they are getting on base, and when they do get on base, they're 5th overall in stolen bases. So potential dart throws there for the Tigers, but not really in this game going against Garrett Cole. They're 5th overall in strikeouts. So when you're striking out that much and you're going against an ace like Garrett Cole, Cole is somebody you might want to roster in general. And then hitting wise for the Yankees, you have, they're kind of similar situation with the Phillies. Their average is, they're 27th in average, 27th in on base percentage. They're striking out a ton. They're 4th overall in strikeouts. Home runs, they're 6th overall. They have 20 home runs in spring training, so they are indeed the Bronx Bombers. Stolen bases, kind of surprising. They're 10th overall in stolen bases, but they're kind of resting a lot of guys today. So for the Yankees side, I actually do like Brett Gardner a lot here. Voit looks like he's struggling a little bit, but I like Gardner. I like Hicks. Frazier can hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's kind of it. For the Tigers, I don't really like anybody going against Garrett Cole, but the one guy I will say that is in this lineup, actually 2 guys in this lineup that you could take potential chances on is this dude right here, Badu. He is slugging, man. He's hitting 400. He's got 2 home runs. He's walked 7 times. I believe he's also struck out 6, but he's walking more than he is striking out. So I like him here. I like Willie Castro here as well. He has 3 home runs on the season. So that's pretty decent. Other than that, I don't like either the rest of the team. Moving on to the final matchup here, you have Peter Solomon going against Jacob Degrom. I will say Solomon, we don't know a ton about him, but he has pitched pretty well so far in spring. He's pitched 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs or anything like that. He'll probably only go like 1 or 2. I'm guessing. I don't really know if he doesn't really have a chance to make the starting rotation. I'm guessing. So this might be a bullpen game for the Astros. And then you have Jacob Degrom, who is pretty much an absolute slam dunk. I like him here. And the reasons why I do like him here, I mean, he's Jacob Degrom. He's a Cy Young award-winning pitcher, but he's also pitched 5 innings so far in spring training, 10 strikeouts. He's only given up a hit. And pitching against the Astros, who are near dead last in literally every category of the spring training. Average, they're 29th. On-base percentage, they're 23rd overall. Strikeouts, they're 24th. So they're not really striking out a ton, I guess. But with DeGrom on the mound, I like the matchup. Home runs, they're dead last. Stolen bases, they're dead last. They're not doing anything. But granted, Bregman's been out. They have Alvarez back in. Those guys hit home runs. Those guys hit for average. So they're getting a lot of starters back. That being said, it's still early for those 2 guys. So maybe a potential fade situation there. They might actually get some ownership. Thank God. I'm probably not going to play them. So I don't really like anybody on the Astros side. But going to the Mets side here, Brandon Nimmo is absolutely on fire. Lindor's back, which is nice to see, but a potential stay away candidate. I mean, he could break out any game, but he's only played a few games. Smith, I really like Alonso here. I like Conforto. Jeff McNeil can get on base, but that's about it. And then a sneak value play could be Pilar here. He's actually been hitting very well this spring training. And then overall, like some team totals, average wise, they're 17th. They're not striking out at all. They're 29th in team strikeouts. So that's great. They're not really hitting a ton of home runs either. They're 26th overall in home runs. They're 23rd in stolen bases. On base, they're 19th. So they are getting on base. I wouldn't load up on the Mets, but I do like Nimmo here because he can steal bases. He can get on base. He can do a little bit of everything for you. So I like him. I like Pete Alonso if you're looking to fill your first base needs. And then Pilar's a sneaky play. Conforto looks decent as well. That's it. So really, I mean, you got Cole and Degrom. There's no reason not to pick those guys, especially if you're doing cash games or 50-50s, double up, stuff like that. And then hitting wise, Atlanta, Boston, I really like as options here. There is some value on Detroit, but I probably would stay away. Phillies, you know where you're going to get. It's feast or famine. Toronto, probably stay away from. And then Houston, absolutely don't want any part of that. If they hit, good for them, but no thanks, hard pass. And then the Mets, you can sprinkle some guys in there as well. My name's Tim Williams. I'm going to be breaking down content all season long. If you like this, hit that thumbs up. If you like baseball content, DraftKings, DFS content, hit that subscribe. We'll be doing it all season long. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.